Insurance. This is Tony Cañas. And today I want to tell you how a year ago today, everything changed. Obviously, this particular video is about the pandemic. In this case, about how I lived it. It was Thursday, March 12th, 2020. We had been hearing about the novel coronavirus or COVID-19 for the last couple of months, but mostly as it terrorized a never before heard of city in China and some poor souls trapped in a few cruise ships. I had just gotten back from a one-week trip through South America and proceeded to do some client visits at the Hartford, followed by an actuarial conference in Hartford, Connecticut. The actuarial conference almost canceled because many carriers had instituted travel bans. I still didn't have a travel ban, so I went and found a pretty empty conference. On March 12th, I was in Philadelphia at the CPCU Reinsurance Symposium, which was, again, sparsely attended. At 4 p.m., I put my cell phone on airplane mode and went on stage as part of a panel. By the time the panel was done, I had a voicemail from my boss to call him immediately. I called him and was told, we're banned from travel. Monica is handling getting all your consultants home. Go home. I told him I would, and I asked him if my trip to Chicago 3 weeks later was still on. He told me that the office was closed and that he didn't know when we'd be back. Go ahead and cancel it. The last flight of the evening was packed, and it was easier to grab the first flight the next morning instead. I grabbed some dinner at a pizza place and went to the post-conference reception where they announced the conference was canceled for the second day because the county had declared a state of emergency. I slept an uneasy sleep, and the next morning I flew the 5:30 a.m. flight home to Atlanta, where Renee showered me with Lysol before letting me into the apartment. We did one quick stop through an emptied out Whole Foods to pack up whatever food we could find, and we hunkered down into our first quarantine. We wouldn't leave our apartment unit at all for 11 weeks. Not the apartment building, the apartment unit for 11 weeks. All deliveries, including food, were immediately sanitized. All packages were quarantined in the closet for 2 or 3 days before we opened them. When we slowly emerged from hibernation in June, we found a massively changed world. Our K95s became attached to our faces whenever we weren't home. In June, we drove to Ohio to spend a month with her family. Drove. I had been Delta Diamond for 2 years and Platinum for 4 years before that. Renee had been Platinum for a long time. We had literally moved to Atlanta a couple months earlier to be close to the big airport. We were not the drive to your vacation type. Driving did have some unexpected advantages, like not having to decide up front exactly when we'd come back and being able to carry my entire work and gaming setup, desk, and 49-inch ultra-wide monitor included. Client calls migrated to Zoom, and conferences got canceled or went virtual. Have you and your family stayed healthy during the pandemic became my go-to icebreaker line. The more I chatted with clients and prospects, the more I heard the exact same story over and over and over from almost every carrier. We sent everybody home on Thursday, March 12th, told them to take their equipment to test if everybody could work from home at the same time. We held our breath and IT didn't collapse. End of day Friday, we told them not to come back. They're still working from home. At Jacobson, we discovered virtual Zoom happy hours with workers, and in our personal lives, we did the same with friends and family. We did virtual Christmas and Thanksgiving. My birthday in December, for the first time in forever, I could have both Renee's and my family there, even though they're in different countries. The All Company IM channel became our default group communication, and 99% of internal Zoom calls moved over to video. Slowly, we started talking about a new normal. Unemployment exploded as the economy imploded around us, and yet insurance stood strong. Insurance unemployment did increase from 2% to almost 5%. It has since come down back to 2.2%. The Jacobson Aon survey, September of last year, found an incredible number of carriers saying they'll have more remote people going forward. 48%, almost half of carriers, and 77% saying that they'll have more work from home days for in-office people. In the February 2021 survey, those numbers increased, or at least the fully remote number increased. There is no putting the genie back in the bottle of remote work. Remote work is a reality in our industry. It's the new norm. You will lose people if you force them to come back into the office. Give them the option to come back into the office. That's perfect. The new president is saying that we'll all be vaccinated by the end of summer. Soon enough, the new normal will start to emerge. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about how I lived the pandemic and how proud I am of our insurance industry for again remaining strong during a recession. Recently, I booked my ticket for InsurTech Connect in Vegas in October and submitted myself as a potential speaker for CPCU Into Risk in Orlando and NAMIC Annual in Nashville. I am keeping my fingers crossed that those conferences actually happen. I think they will. I'm hopeful to be able to see many of you in the fall. Stay safe, friends. We'll make it through this. Thank you for all your support this year. Thank you for being there. Please know that I am here. I look forward to catch up with all of you. Happy Friday. Have a fantastic weekend. Hope you can get vaccinated soon. I hope to see you in the fall. Thank you.